All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. First full weekend, really, without college football in 3 months, so a little more than 3 months. So, what did you get into? We had a good weekend. Got to watch the Saints win on Sunday, which was great, 30-9. Saints 5-game losing streak is over. It must just be so miserable being a Jets fan. I mean, as bad as this Saints team has been, as tough as it has been to watch, as much as it has been, excuse me, as much as it's been tough watching this, I lost my train of thought. The Saints are in this 5-game losing streak. You look at the Jets and you go, man, they're really bad. They're really, really bad. So nice to see the Saints get a win. Incredibly, they're still in the playoff mix, but that's just enough to give you hope and ruin what could be a really good draft pick. They got to go to Tampa this week. Tampa darn near lost last night to Buffalo. They blew their lead. Buffalo came back, tied it, actually had a shot to win it there at the end, went to overtime, and Tampa walked it off. So Tampa's going to win the division. I think we already expected that. But Saints still get a win. It was nice to see Alvin Kamara back. You realize how dynamic he's been, and you wonder, man, what if you had Kamara, what if you'd had Kamara against the Titans, sort of thing, do you win that game? Anyway, you can play the what-if game all day long, and I'm not sure how much it would matter. Maybe this would have been a playoff team, but getting healthier, and we'll see what they can make happen down the stretch. Was some significant news in the NFL, both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in walking boots after their games yesterday. On the college front, Bo Nix has entered the transfer portal. So he's leaving Auburn. He does plan to play somewhere as a grad transfer next year. So 1 year somewhere. Where might that be? We'll see. Quinn Ewers, the 5-star quarterback, has left Ohio State. He's committed to Texas. So Steve Sarkisian gets a big pull there at quarterback. And big recruiting weekend for LSU, obviously, with a lot of official visitors on campus. The early signing period is Wednesday. So, National Signing Day, whatever. We're gonna hear a lot more this coming week about how these visits went, and if LSU ends up finishing strong. I know that all the crystal balls are in now for Quincy Wiggins to LSU. Looks like that's going to happen. We talked about that a few weeks back, and I'd heard that he was. I think maybe he might even be silently committed, because I'd heard that. And y'all know I don't do recruiting, but I'd heard that a few weeks back that he was. I don't know if they landed him some NIL deal, whatever. I don't know. I have no idea, but y'all know I don't do recruiting. But that would be massive. You get a big player like Quincy Wiggins in this class as well, really boosted. So anyway, all right. Do me a favor: Facebook, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. And let's get rolling here. Jason Austin, Charlie Gale, Brian Wynn, Brandon English, Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Dylan Horn, thoughts on the Brian Kelly dance video? Yeah, I think it's funny. I mean, it was awkward. It's undeniably awkward. And the internet's going to make fun of things that are undeniably awkward, so I don't really care. That's funny. I look forward to seeing all the different memes with different music set behind it, and what the internet's going to do with it, actually. All attention's good attention, and the most important part of that is that Walker Howard said, I got my coach. So I'm good with it. Hey, Beth Bonner DeVille, good morning to Beth and the DeVille boys. Drew and Jake DeVille, shout out, fellas. Y'all have a great day at school, a great week. Christmas is almost here. Power through these last few days of school before Christmas break. Hope you boys doing well this morning. Gary Petrie, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Stephen Smith, Camaro on a pitch count. That was funny. No, that was funny. So I don't know who the announcers were for. I know James Lofton, but I don't know who the play-by-play guy was for CBS. But he mentioned that Sean Payton told them in their meeting on Friday, because the coach will always meet with the broadcast team, and in their meeting on Friday, they said Kamara would probably be on pitch count. 27 carries, 4 receptions. That's 31 touches from scrimmage for Alvin Kamara. Not much of a pitch count. Kelly Gross, good morning. Adam Duce, good morning. Do you think LSU chases after Tank Bigsby since he's entered his name in the portal? Man, LSU needs a running back, because I'm telling you, Ty Davis Price is going pro. So, yeah. And I don't know what the future holds for John Emery. I don't know what he is draft eligible, so John Emery could go, he could transfer, could play another year. I don't know, but yeah, I would. Proven SEC back, really talented runner, I would. Julio Mendez, good morning. Todd Harris, Greg Phillips, good morning. What's your expectation for LSU in the bowl game? Yeah, Greg, I want to see who plays quarterback first. I think that's the biggest question, right? Is it going to be Garrett Nussmeier? Do they start Matt O'Dowd, or do they go with Joshua Kirkland? For those that don't know, Kirkland, the wide receiver, was a high school quarterback, and he's the emergency quarterback. So do you start a freshman walk-on who's never played, or do you start Kirkland? I kind of want to see Kirkland, honestly, but let me see that first. I know some of y'all don't like me saying this, but I'm legit concerned with how many players are going to have. Like, injuries, opt-outs, guys who didn't take care of their grades this semester and end up academically ineligible. Like, if y'all remember with the Fiesta Bowl a few years back, whenever LSU had, like, a skeleton squad, it may look like that again this year. Kenneth Smither, good morning. Tim Gotro, Joey Vincent, Stuart Boudreaux, Jason Mobile, morning. Hunter Fournette, what's up? Matthew Vincent, good morning. Tell me about Cincy OC Mike Denbrock. Don't know much about him. I mean, I've obviously watched a couple of Cincinnati games here and there. But if you're asking for LSU purposes, I mean, Desmond Ritter's developed into a good player. Won a lot of games. They've been solid on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's obviously someone who Brian Kelly would be familiar with. He played him this year. And he came from Cincinnati, so I would imagine that there's a lot of familiarity there. Andrew Repass, anticipating coordinator hires announced after Wednesday. That's a bit disappointing. Andrew, I think you got to look at it this way, man. A couple things. Number one, you had all the recruits there this weekend, and they had to have talked to these guys about what the plan is, right? And they may even have their guys, but if they're still coaching, then they're not going to announce it if they're in a playoff run, right? Or a major bowl game or something like that. And if that's the way they want to do it, okay. But you can tell your recruits, what you're thinking to whatever degree you feel comfortable doing that. Stu 3, good morning. The Brian Kelly dance video is awesome. Do you think Kelly's waiting for the Bulls to find the? Yeah, no, Jesse. I mean, I don't think he's waiting for the Bulls to find his coordinators. I mean, I'm actually quite certain that he's certain who he's going to hire. I don't know who it is, by the way. I mean, I've heard the same names everybody else has heard, and he's keeping that pretty close to the vest. But if I feel like I know something, I'll tell you. But I don't right now. I don't know who he's. I mean, I've heard the same names. I mean, I heard the guy from Kentucky, Brad White. I've heard Pete Golding from Alabama. OC, I've heard Bryles. I've heard the guy from Wake Forest. Someone just asked me about Cincinnati. I haven't heard that, but not say that's not someone they wouldn't look at. How much did Texas pay for him? They're buying everyone lately. Good for them. And by the way, Kenneth, if you think that's the only school that's buying players and your school isn't buying players, you're high. I mean, respect, love you, but everybody pays players. All of them. The good thing about NIL now is you can do it within the context and the confines of the rules, which is good. So do it. Everyone does it. You should do it. Bubba Tatum, good morning. Doesn't it look like Ohio State got used for an NIL deal? Which, if so, that makes me happy. Maybe, Hunter, but the thing is, Quinn Ewers could have had that type of deal anywhere. And C.J. Stroud just blew up. So if you're Quinn Ewers, you go a place where you realize, well, you ain't playing the next 2 years, so bounce. I get it. Brandon Williams, what's up? Dave asks, good morning. Brian Kelly's going to get Dancing with the Stars. Kevin Top. See, there are some people who are upset about it. I'm not. It's an awkward video. It's funny. I can laugh at it. Just go win games. Like all the other ancillary stuff, I just don't care. Just go win games. Eric Wilderrotter has to be the most boring Saints team in 20 years. Man, you forget the Katrina season. I mean, when they were 3-13, that was brutal. Brutal. Trying to remember some of those teams in between. So you'd be going back in the Hazlitt, Aaron Brooks years before Peyton got here. Some of those were pretty rough too. Rapid Batches, Patrick Ramos, Trivia Carter, good morning. Connor O'Neill, how long do you think Harsin lasts at Auburn? Things don't seem to be going well for him in year one. You see, I'll put it to you this way, Connor. Remember, and that's a good point, okay? For everyone who's worried about, like if you're looking at Brian Kelly and you're worried about like coaching turnover or players leaving or like, this is what happens. And Harsin's finishing up year one, but remember, he was hired last year amid or shortly after COVID, and so there was a lot of things where there was just uncertainties about the future, and then it all sort of normalizes. But I mean, that's probably not as good a year one as they had hoped, but they did beat LSU in Tiger Stadium, even though LSU gagged that away. They were a breath away from winning the Iron, should have won the Iron Bowl. Anyway, just. It's a climb, man. Spurge, good morning. Doesn't Kiner have potential? I think so. I think Kiner has potential, but you're not going to roll with one back. Juan, what's up, man? Big sponsorship opportunity for walk-ons in this bowl game. Stephen Bond, good morning. Michael Tolliver, does LSU basketball start SEC play undefeated? I think so. They got 3 more games, and they'll be heavily favored against Northwestern State, Tech, and Lipscomb. So, yeah, I think they do. Do you think the announcement of OCDC after the early signing date? Yeah, unless if something drastically changes here in the next 3 days, yeah, I do. Keelan, Payjack, Kamara looked so good yesterday. He did, man. Which is great to see. But the thing about Kamara is he's as dynamic a running back as the Saints have ever had in their history. But you do start to worry that he hasn't played a full season since his first year. Played in 15 games in year 2, then 14, 15, and he's at 9 this year. You start to worry about durability. You do with his style, and hopefully he stays healthy, man, because he is fun. He's a difference maker, man. He was awesome yesterday. Let's see. Travis Broussard, morning Scone, enjoying the content, recovering from surgery. You helped pass the time. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing okay. We'll be here for AFR 3 today, man. So hang out with us for 3 hours on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. As always, I'll shout out to Brock. You need an orthopedic, go see Brock. They're the best. And, of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, HudcoRoofing.com. Where are we? Blake Estes, good morning from Smyrna Beach, Florida. Tim Gotros, Saints season infinitely better than we had the 2 Billy Joes. But he did say in the last 20 years. So 20 years, you got to go back to 2001. So that was the year after the Saints won their first playoff game. So that was post-Ditka. But yes. Billy Joe Tolliver, Billy Joe Hobart. Oh, my goodness. Who knew there were 2 Billy Joes, let alone 2 Billy Joes in the NFL playing on the same team? Matt Plavidal, Jordan Thomas, seems like Walker is Brian Kelly's guy. Do you see a situation that Nuss is forced to transfer after the spring? Yeah, I could see that. I'll put it to you this way, Jordan. Here's what I know. I know Walker Howard, even though he may not say it publicly, but would like to redshirt. And it's probably a smart move, right? His dad played quarterback and understands the benefit of having an 18-year-old kid get to sit and watch and grow physically and develop and the rigors of the SEC and having to play early and all that stuff. So I think there's a great chance for Nussmeier to be the starter next year, and maybe for multiple years. And I don't think Walker Howard is a flight risk. One of the things Jamie said on air to me, maybe right after Walker committed, he said, "Look, even if Walker never plays a snap at LSU. LSU's going to be better because he's there. You got to understand, Jamie's not the guy that brags on his kid. That's just that isn't his thing. He said LSU will be a better team because Walker's on the team, and that's the kind of guy you want when you're building culture. So, yeah, man, I wouldn't worry about that, you know. And I think there's a great opportunity for Nussmeier to start next year, unless they bring in a transfer that starts. Adrian Bailey, do you think LSU goes after Bo Nix? I think they need to go after a transfer quarterback, and if Bo Nix fits the style they want, then sure. Come on, trivia, say it with me. Taysom Hill is trash. Taysom Hill is a dynamic athlete. He's just not a good thrower of the football. Tomas, good morning. Happy the Saints won. Mad how biased officiating is in favor of Brady. Crazy most of the media won't say a thing. The non-call on what should have been PI at the end of the game was a little brutal in the end zone. Should have been brutal. It should have been PI, and Buffalo should have first and goal from the 1 with like 30 seconds left. Do you think Joe Brady comes back to the Saints? Probably not. Pizza Boy the Jedi, good morning. John Melanson, good morning. Merritt Mathern, time frame, we find out about opt-outs and guys who didn't make the grade. I mean, that stuff will leak over the next month. And then you're also going to have guys that obviously, well, you said opt-outs, but I mean, you're going to have guys that choose to go get ready for the draft and not play in the bowl game. Clark Tiger Davis, good morning. Brandon English. With Auburn getting their basketball punishment, this LSU stuff seems like even more of a joke. They had actual people arrested on campus, and Pearl gets a 2-game suspension. Come on, man. Yes. Correct. Well, I mean, Chuck Person was bribing a federal official. Will Wade was caught on a wiretap talking about a strong-ass offer. But yes, I agree with you. It's all stupid. The fact that our federal government has spent this much time investigating this is stupid. Let's see. Jake St. Philip, good morning. I got to go quickly. It's 7:52. I got to bounce because I had to get Drew up and get him to school. Jeremy Kling, maybe one more. Shelby Kelly, 67 days to opening day at the box. As long as Kelly's locking down Louisiana, let the man dance. Y'all, you got to laugh at that. I mean, it's a little funny. Brian Kelly and Walker Howard back-to-back, and the camera's spinning, and Kelly's doing this awkward gun thing. Like, it's funny. I mean, it is. Who cares? Just go win games and have fun. Like, have a good time. Like, do you remember how the internet went crazy when Dabo was dancing in the locker room, doing his like, awkward, you know, uncoordinated guy dance? I mean, yeah, come on. Like, it's okay. He dances how I would imagine my grandpa would dance. Well, he could be a grandpa. He's 60 years old. Bill Schmidt, Ed Reeder, good morning. With the Saints win yesterday, I just think we make a push to the playoffs. Push and make are very different, Robert. And they may win a few more games here. I do not think they'll make the playoffs. Jason Horn from NYC, good morning. Hey, Uncle Mike, good morning. James Peck, good morning. What quarterback in the portal would you be? I would not mind signing Bo Nix. I mean, I know there's been good Bo Nix, bad Bo Nix. I get all that. But guys played a lot of football in the SEC. And if you need a 1-year stopgap so you can get some of these younger guys' experience, I'm down. Lee Allen, good morning. Yep, Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tigers got another win yesterday. Let's see. All right, I got to go, y'all. 7:54, I got to go. Got to get Drew up. All right, for everybody I missed, my apologies. Y'all have an awesome day. As always, shout out to Brock. They're tagged in the Facebook post. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. They've been amazing sponsors of AFR of Morning Scone here for a while. And Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. We got materials, we got crews, we are slinging roofs. If you or someone you know has a blue tarp or needs a roof, give us a shout, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much. Smash that like button on your way out. Like the page, share the post on Facebook. Y'all have a good one. Peace.